Hello, welcome into this edition of the Sancomb Show. My name is Matt Keifer, the Sports Information Director here with the California Vulcans. With me after a busy, high-scoring affair on Saturday is head coach Danny Sancomb. But again, no rest for the weary. Just pulled you out of practice, so you're getting ready already for another one here. But thanks for joining with us here. Just starting the PSAC West play.
Glad to be here. Very busy time.
Yeah. So again, looking back, it's been a couple of weeks since we had an episode here. Finishing up the calendar year of 2023, you guys made the long trip to Mansfield. One of those on New Year's Eve. It's always tough to get a team motivated, especially going that far on a bus trip. And again, it's one of those overnight trips, no matter what you do. So it's one of those things there, getting the team ready to go when you get back from Christmas break. How'd the team look the first couple of days back?
It's just tough. You know, you have 3 practices and you're playing a game after taking a week off. So, typically those games from our league are sloppy games. And I think Mansfield, especially the start of the game, we were just a little sloppy with passing and catching the ball. I thought as the game went on, I thought we hit our stride and had a really good stretch in the second half and played pretty good basketball in the second half.
Yeah, he's in the first half. There was 46-41 at halftime. Mansfield ended up shooting 8 of 11 from three-point line, really keeping them in that contest there. But the second half, they only shot 2 of 8, so it's one of those things. You ever look at some things at halftime and make some adjustments, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have to defend the 3 better. That's important, and we've done a great job at it early in the year. And we've had a couple games like Mansfield here of late where we just didn't do a good job. And, we were given 2 good looks to guys that can make shots that are capable 3-point shooters. So I thought in the second half we bared down and did a much better job and limited the number of threes they could take, and they only made 2. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, in the game, it ended up being an 88-76 victory. KJ McClurg, 33 points. Bryson Lucas, 18. Jermaine Hall, 12. And Zion Collins with 6 assists in addition to 9 points. And Antoine Arnett, 10 points off the board in 19 minutes. So, again, balanced effort there has been the case almost all season.
Yeah, KJ really got it going that game. He started to make shots and opened a lot of things. Opened the other guys, though, did a good job. Zion really set the table. Got some guys some easy baskets. Jermaine was very solid for us. Anytime you get 10 points off the bench, Antoine has been very solid for us. Just good contribution. And I just thought we moved the ball much better in the second half, and we were able to get high percentage shots and make shots.
And it's one of those things there that extended the winning streak to start the season. It was the best start for the Vulcans in over 4 decades. I can't find anything before that. So, but it was a great start to the season there. But then coming home with Westchester, a very high-scoring affair as well. One there on Wednesday. Just talk about your initial thoughts, Westchester.
Yeah, man, I tip our hat off. They played very well, made shots. We let them get going. They have 2 guards that are guys that can really score the basketball. When I say score, they can go for 30, 35 points a night. And I think one of them had 35 and the other one had 22 or 23. And we just didn't guard well. We gave up 100 points at home. And look back at it, I think they made 16 threes. We didn't do a good job defending that. I think early what happened was we let a couple of the guys get good looks, and they got it going. And once they got it going, we couldn't shut it down.
Yeah, Elijah Allen finished at 34 for Westchester at 7 threes. But again, the Vulcans had balanced scoring and great job there. KJ McClurg right there hitting a corner 3, and Donald White had 20 points in only 26 minutes. Took a little bit of a bang up there, but again, a great scoring effort there by Donald, and then Bryson Lucas had 9 points, and still about foul trouble, but still was able to give you some minutes.
Yeah, just to recap that, if you tell me we're going to score 97 points at home, I think we're going to win the game, probably going away, but we just weren't able to get enough stops. Our offense was great. We moved, we shared the ball, did a really good job, with that. I thought Donald Whitehead had a great offensive game. For us, KJ obviously was great as well, but Zion, had another good game, but we just couldn't get stops. We got out in transition, we got a lot of easy baskets. Heck, I think we shot 55% for the game, so it wasn't our offense, it was our defense for sure, and we concentrated on that. We knew our next game we would have to play good defense.
Yeah, in the second half there, 60 to 54, it was the 2 teams scoring. You guys shot 60% from the floor. They shot 60% from the floor. It was almost like a track meet there in the second half. Everybody's just trying to go. And Westchester made some really tough contested shots while you guys were clawing your way, keeping the game close, and had a chance there at the end.
Yeah, to me, I thought with about 8.5 minutes left, we were up 8. We got to put that game away at that point in time. And I think we had some mental errors defensively that allowed them to get some good looks, and I really thought that was the difference in the game. We just let them get too many easy baskets, and they got it really going in the second half, and we couldn't stop them.
I know one of the stats you always like to look at there is 20 assists on 33 made field goals. So a lot of guys passing the ball there. Zion had 6 assists. Jermaine had 5. Your two seniors always looking to pass the ball and find the open shots.
Yeah, those guys are so good in our offense, understanding reads. They've been here so long, so they distribute the ball. Those two guys probably lead our team in assists. They make good decisions with the ball.
And then you have that game on Wednesday. You have another home game on Saturday against Gannon, who entered the play as the top scoring team in the country. Run a system you're very familiar with. It was basically from West Liberty from your time with Wheeling. So if anybody knew in the PSAC what it looked like the first time, it'd definitely be you. And the idea of facing a team like that, you knew you were going to have to score. And you guys did that early and often, certainly against Gannon.
Yeah, I think, when you play a team like Gannon, they play extremely hard. So you're going to have to match their intensity and be ready to play. And they're going to press and create turnovers. That's a big part of what they do. So obviously protecting the ball is very important. I think they create 27 turnovers a game. So going into that game, we wanted to break the press and we wanted to break it and get layups, and we did a good job with that. We passed the ball very well. We kicked the ball ahead, as you can see, Bryson getting a dunk there. We really did a good job not wasting dribbles, kicking the ball up the floor, and getting easy baskets. And we had a lot of layups and dunks against their press.
Yeah, it's one of those things there. A contest there, you shoot 70.6% from the floor. I had to take the double check when I actually was putting everything together. They're shooting 36 of 51. So it's one of those things, not only amazing percentage, but the idea of just the efficiency and the looks you were getting were either wide open outside shots or ones right underneath there. And then guys like this hitting contested shots right there, Jermaine did.
Yeah, and just like real happy. You see all that ball. I mean, that's a dunk. Right? He's going to make that 100 out of 100 times. But the pass ahead was the play, and we didn't waste dribbles. They do such a good job like jamming the rebounder, and we were able to get the rebound. And I always tell our guys, when you get the ball, you have to have a pretty good idea where everybody's at. And I was real happy with how we just found open guys, and we got open threes and layups the entire game. So that's why we shot, 70%. We did a good job sharing the basketball and taking great shots.
You see 2 back-to-back threes here. Jalen Goins making 2-1s, almost the exact same play, but huge minutes for him and also even for Dahlman because Antoine and Jermaine both had foul trouble there in the first half. So those guys really stepped up in a big game against the top 20 opponent.
Yeah, happy to see that. Those guys put so much time in practice, and sometimes it doesn't go, you don't get to see it. But we have the belief when Jalen came in, his shots were great, but his defense and positioning where he was supposed to be, he was just locked in. And Dowman the same way. I think Dowman had 2 points on a nice dunk, but defensively he was where he was supposed to be, rebounded, changed some shots. Those guys gave us some big minutes, like you said, against the top 20 team. And not only playing in a game that was meaningful, playing at a very meaningful time of the game and stretching the lead when they were in there.
Yeah, the lead ended up getting to be as large as 24 points, which again, no lead is safe ever when you play a team like Gannon. But again, he outscored them 54-38 in the first half, and then was just able to hold, shoot 66% in the second half. So yes, Gannon was making a little bit more shots in the second half, but again, you guys were matching them right there with it.
Yeah, the big thing for us that game was, they shot about 37-38% for the game. Even in the second half where they scored more points, they still shot 37% from the field. We fouled a little bit too much on that, but I just thought our defense was locked in. We did a great job defending the three. They utilized the three. And when we're communicating and we're locked in, we really are very good defensively. And I was happy to see us, hold that team, under, 100 points is a feat. They score about 115, 116 points a game. So, to hold them to 85 points was a good thing for us.
And in that game, KJ had 30 points. Zion had 21, moved up on the all-time scoring list, and also had 8 assists. And so that's one of those things there for Zion, really getting 21 and 8, being efficient there. And then Bryson getting 18, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And then Jermaine Hall, double digits, 12 points, 7 rebounds. And then, again, only 28 minutes because of foul trouble in the first half.
Yeah, and he was 6 for 7. Jermaine had a really good game. I think if he stayed out of foul trouble, you see, the numbers go up even more. But, with our guards, with Zion and KJ, they do so much for us. The scoring is great. You see that. But you start to look through the box score, you see 5, 6 rebounds for each of them. You see the assist, the job that they do on defense. They did a really good job. I thought Bryson Lucas was the big key for us in that game. He really helped us in the press break and was very efficient with bringing the ball up for us at times, breaking the press, and then just staying out of foul trouble. He brings a whole other dimension to our team.
Yeah, you can tell the length of the athleticism were definitely on display and really helped against the Gannon program. That, again, he got hired late, had one really returning player that started from last year. Number 4 ended up with 30 points, but a lot of that at the free throw line in the second half. So it's one of those things, being able to use that experience and also lengthen the system against a team that's a little bit undersized at this point right now with a coach that's still bringing his players in.
Absolutely. They're going to continue to get better as the year goes on. They play hard, so we'll have to go to their place and be ready to play when we see them again.
Okay, that takes a look back at the action here from the last week plus. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back looking ahead at tomorrow's opponent and also the PSAC West standings here after a bit.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates the athletic and academic excellence of its student athletes. Last year, over 3,800 achieved at least a 3.25 GPA to earn recognition as a PSAC Scholar Athlete. Athletically, 75 PSAC teams qualified for the NCAA championships. Champions on the field, champions in the classroom, making the PSAC proud.
Regardless of the season, follow all the action with CUTV Sports. From the gridiron to the hardwood, the pitch and the diamond, CUTV Sports has you covered with almost 100 live games a year. With multiple camera angles, graphics, announcers, and replays, for 37 seasons, CUTV Sports is your home for Vulcan athletics. Get out of the huddle and into the action with CUTV Sports.
Come on out to the Convocation Center and support men's and women's basketball for the 2023-2024 season. The Vulcans are looking to put the PSAC on notice this year after both teams are picked towards the top of the preseason conference rankings. There will be 13 men's games and 16 women's games at home. Follow calvulcans.com for any update. All games will be live on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC network.
Come out. Our team's going to be very exciting. We have a lot of good players. I think we play the game the right way, very up-tempo. I think we're going to be able to score some points. I think our defense is going to be great. Our guys have great energy.
Come to our games. I think once you get here, you'll really like what you see. I think it's exciting. These players put in a ton of time, a ton of effort to put out a good product on the floor. And like I said, I think it's super exciting, and you'll really want to come back.
Hello, welcome back to this week's edition of the Dan Sancomb Show. My name is Matt Kuiper, the Sports Information Director here with California Vulcans. It's Tuesday afternoon, but yesterday about the same time, KJ McClurgy received a much-deserved honor. It was named PSAC West Athlete of the Week for the second time this year. Scored nearly 30 points per game, shot over 60% from the floor, over 50% from three-point land, and again played almost every single minute of those 3 contests.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's one of those things. KJ's, again, been one of those top scorers in the league. The great main defender, been a great job here in his second year with the Vulcans. So going into the opponents this week, Seton Hill tomorrow, complete opposite basically of Gannon. Gannon plays that press the entire time, where Seton Hill sits back in a 2-3 zone. Second year head coach, so the guys really know the system. Going to have a challenge there tomorrow.
Yeah, they play very fast on offense, though. They want to push the ball in transition, but defensively, it's not your typical 2-3. They're not sitting back. They pressure. They make things difficult. They create some turnovers. They're very active in their zone. So we're going to have to be ready to make some shots and pass the ball crisp and make them work on the defensive end.
And so taking a look at the PSAC standings here, only one game in West play, but again, so many crossover games at this point in the season. There you see it, California with a half-game lead over IUP, 6-1 overall in the conference, 12-1 overall. IUP, perennial power, obviously, still second place at 5-1. Their lone loss at East Stroudsburg so far in PSAC play, and then Gannon 5-2. With their losses coming to Cal and then also Millersville, which East Stroudsburg, again, they actually lost again. And so it's really interesting dynamic of those top 3 or 4 teams in the 2 divisions at this point in the season.
Yeah, for sure. East Stroudsburg's got a very good team. Millersville, we obviously saw. They can beat you in a lot of different ways. Obviously, Westchester, we know what they did to us. Our conference on both sides is, if you want to win, you better be ready to play. Simple as that.
Yeah, and in the East right now, East Stroudsburg is 6-1, but then Westchester and Lockhaven both 5-2. Two teams you saw earlier this season. So it's one of those things. Looking at the crossover schedule at this point, everybody you've played is right in the top or right in the middle of the PSAC East standing. So that really gears you up for the PSAC West when you face the juggernauts of IUP. UPJ is a little bit different look, but Mercier is gaining right now.
Yeah, we didn't get any breaks with our crossover games. We played really good teams from the East. So, like I said, that's going to help us, and we just got to continue to play good basketball.
So again, tomorrow is the first of the last of the home games of this week with Seton Hill, but then you go on the road to Slippery Rock on Saturday. So at least finally get a chance to go back on the road after being home for 3 games. Probably a little bit different for the guys there after the start of the season they had.
Yeah, absolutely. We played our first 6 or 7 on the road, and we've had a nice little home stretch here, but we've played well on the roads. We're going to have to play well on the road if we're going to win conference games. So we got to be ready, to play whether it's home or away, mentally, physically. We got to be ready to go.
And then finally next week the students come back and get a chance to actually see the team play in the Convocation Center. But before that even happens, tomorrow be 7:30 tip against Seton Hill in the Convocation Center. You can follow the action with CUTV's feed on the PSAC Digital Network and also CUTV YouTube page. But Coach, thanks for taking a couple minutes here today, and appreciate you taking the time all season long so far, giving an insight in the program.
Thanks for having me.
So again, check out the Vulcans tomorrow, 7:30, Convocation Center. Thanks for watching.